This season in real estate, when things really start to slow down, the market freezes as a lot of home sellers decide to hibernate their properties until next spring. However, there's a lot of savvy home buyers out there that are not willing to wait because they know there's some great deals out there that they can force upon a desperate seller. Just like one of my home buyers did, and now she's cashing in. I've got that and more coming up. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, the Northwest MLS just came out with its data for November 2024. And to no surprise, as I mentioned at the top of the video, things have really slowed down. November, December, January, notoriously slow in the real estate market all across the United States. So Seattle is no exception. You know, you have sellers, as I mentioned, waiting for the spring to list their property, trying to maximize their return on investment with more buyers looking for homes during that period. That's why I always tell my buyers, don't wait. A lot of your competition right now is focused on the holidays. They're not looking to buy. They're going to jump into the market in the spring and they're going to drive up the price on you. So don't do that if you can. If you really want to buy a home, look right now like my buyer did, and I'm going to tell you about that story in a short bit. Now, they're looking across the state. The Northwest MLS represents 26 counties of the 38 here in the state of Washington. And the data showed that, well, there was a decrease in the amount of new listings month to month. In other words, this past October to November by as much as 15%. However, the good news, there was an increase from November 2023, November 2024, in the amount of new listings by as much as 23%. During that same 12-month period, there's also an increase in the amount of properties sold in that 12-month period by as much as 25%. But of course, we're talking about Washington, especially the Seattle area. Not all the news is great. That same month, 12 months period, median sales price went up by as much as 7%. Now I'm going to give you all the data here for, as I do every month, for King County, Snohomish County, Seattle, the Eastside, which, yes, the numbers are still disgusting out there. And we also have a new area that I'm going to show you guys that I proposed to one of my buyers, a buyer that's desperate to buy a home. And I said, with this type of market, sometimes you have to think outside the box. Let's see if you agree. Before I go on, Julian Gonzalez here with RSVP Brokers ERA. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If at any point in this video you learned something, you're like, it was kind of cool, I greatly appreciate you liking the video, and I greatly appreciate you subscribing to my channel and turning on notifications. That way, every time I upload a new video, there might be a video that might help you buy or make some kind of decision in the real estate market, buying or selling. Okay, guys? So thanks so much again for tuning in. Let's look at the data. Let's go straight to the data. We're going to start off with King County, as I do every month. Looking at the data for King County, the numbers are pretty staggering here. And I'm going to start off. Let's start off first with the median sales price. That's what a lot of people want to see. Guys, we're only talking about residential homes, okay? I can do condos in the next couple of days, but we're looking compare November 2023, November 2024. Median sales price is $945. The month before, in other words, October, was $965. So you're saving yourself, $20,000 from one month to another now. Now, this number is really staggering. The one I'm going to give you talking about new listings, as I mentioned a short while ago. This number, 980 for the month of November. In October, that number new listings, 1,990. That is just completely crazy. Looking at some of the other numbers here, days on market, 29 days on market, meaning that by the time the house was listed to it closed, on average it's about 29 days. You look at this in the spring, it's a lot less than that. Here's another interesting number, months of inventory, 1.4. A healthy market is 4 to 6 months worth of inventory. So what does that mean, Joe? I have no freaking idea. Okay, 1.4 means if you get all the inventory in the Northwest MLS, it would take 1.4 months to sell everything in the inventory. So of course, if you have 4 to 6 months, that means there's a lot of properties out there, there's a lot of stuff, but of course, we don't, because we're in this part of the world, so that's what drives up the prices in the real estate world. Now, moved on, we look at the little snap. A lot of people like graphs. Look at the graph. This one's really crazy. If you look at the, starting from 2004 to 2024, you look at the bluish grayish line, that's King County. This is the rest of the Northwest MLS, the rest of the 25 counties. Look at the trajectory of King County. It's just disgusting, right? It's always higher. We always know that San Juan County, Snohomish County, and King County are the worst, the most expensive counties in the Northwest MLS. This past month, it was actually San Juan. It's always San Juan and King County alternating. You see in 2008, you see how the world was coming to an end. The market was crashing, and then things go back up. People ask me, hey, Julian, I'm gonna wait for the dip, or when should I buy? I go, look, if you're gonna buy a property and hold it out for 10, 15, 20 years, then it always goes up. But if you're gonna buy and hold a house for maybe 2 or 3 years, or any kind of property, you never know. But I guess historically, if you look at real estate, it just keeps on going up. There are dips, it'll make you suffer and cry, but at the end, if you're smart, you will cash in. Now let's move on to Snohomish County. Snohomish County is, of course, if you're not from here, just north of King County. Looking at the numbers again, these are crazy little numbers here. The median sales price for this area, residential again, is $775. The month before, it was $800,000. Looking at amount of new listings is 512. This number in the month of October, 830. So you see the screeching how. You see year over year, there was an increase of 10%. Looking at some of the other numbers, kind of like it was in King County, about the same right here, 29 days on market. And you see a nice little bump, not really, not that much, of 1.3 when it comes to amount of homes on the market. So these numbers reflecting what the market has been like. As I said, now in the spring, this will get crazy. In the winter, this will get crazy in the spring. Now, looking at the graphic for all you people that like graphics better, here it is. Look how interesting this is. These two lines are basically mano a mano, very close for Snohomish County and the rest of the state. Do almost the same dips, very close, especially right here in 2012. Moving on, let's now show you the Seattle area. Now, this is what the Northwest MLS calls the Seattle area. Up here is about Lake City, kind of where we're at. That's probably the tip right here, getting close to shoreline, all the way down Magnolia, West Seattle, White Center. This little area, guys, this is Lake Ridge. If you're looking for pockets that are interesting, there's a lot of developers looking at this area. You're like, really? Near Renton? Yeah. Believe it or not, there's a lot of multi-million-dollar homes out here. In fact, one of the homes there, it was on the market, took it off the market. What's the big deal about this house? It had a helipad. I think that's what they call it, where a helicopter lands on the property. So it's not cheap out here. People with money live out here, and there's a lot of developer gobbling up a lot of homes out there that need to be fixed up. So let's look at the data for Seattle, and there we go. There you go. So we look at the median sales price up just a little bit from this November 2023, an increase of, almost 3%, $968,000. Guys, remember, this is only residential. When you add the condos, it's gonna bring down the price, but still, that is disgusting. Thank you so much, Amazon, and all those other companies that are just skyrocketing these prices, but they put a lot of jobs out there, so good for Amazon. Total active listings, you see an increase from a year prior, so that's kind of the same trend we saw earlier. Pending sales, Julian, what the hell is a pending sale? That's the moment that a buyer and a seller agree to negotiate, right? So we have 448 pending sales, an amount sold after everything's been done, transaction and closed. Pray to God that it closes. There's an amount of 445, an increase from 12 months prior by as much as 22%. Inventory, 1.79, so a little bit better than the whole of King County, but it still sucks. Yeah, at least I'm on it. So now let's move on to the east side. And east side, okay, here's Bellevue, Medina. For all of you guys that don't know what this area is, that's where Bill Gates and that's where Jeff Bezos used to live. You can't afford it. Because the numbers I'm about to show you, you're gonna freak out. I always thought it was this, but it actually extends all the way to the very end. You're going to this Highway 2 going towards Leavenworth. And down here, it nips. This is the east side, what the MLS considers the east side. It clips a little bit of Snoqualmie Pass. Now look for the numbers. We all know this is the east side. If you haven't seen this before, be ready. For November 2024, the median sales price for residential, $1.5 million. That is crazy. An increase as much as 10% from 12 months prior. Of crazy number. Active listings out there, an slight increase. Pending sales or people negotiating. You're like, man, this number's crazy, but there are people negotiating that can afford it. Thank you, Microsoft. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you, Boeing, for getting a lot of people out of the market with a lot of high-paying jobs, which is awesome, right? Amount sold, people are buying these things up. Yeah, it's crazy, but people are buying an increase by as much as 23%. Inventory, not that great, which drives up this price. Low inventory drives up the price. So, not a lot of feasible places to live on the east side or the west side of Lake Washington. So I told you a little bit earlier that I had a buyers that are a buyer looking to buy a home, and I said, man, you need to broaden out your horizon, think outside the box. So show you what I mean. Started looking for areas. This is South Whidbey Island. This is an area, 811 northwest MLS, South Whidbey Island. They were looking about Marysville area, Everett, Lake Stevens. They work down here in Seattle. Seattle's down here, looking for a single family residential home, but there's not that many homes out there. We all know that. There's a lot of manufactured homes out there, but they want a single family residential home. And I said, hey, how about taking the ferry? Take the ferry. It's about 20 minutes from Mukilteo to Clinton, and there's some more properties out there. There's a lot more inventory out there. No, Julian, the ferry. I go, but you know what? If you work down here and you try to make it to Marysville, you could be stuck in traffic maybe an hour some days. If you're right here, this is only 20 minutes. So kind of it might not be ideal, but give it a try. Went out there, you saw some great properties, but a lot of them they couldn't be financed for them, at least my buyers. The price, don't freak out, but I'll show you the prices for that little area. So you have the median sales price for the South Whidbey Island, $850,000, an increase, of 33% from 12 months prior. Active listings, you see 56. So there are properties in that little area that I told you, 56 active properties, residential in this little small area. If you don't mind taking that ferry, it's a about 20 minute ferry ride. Now, look at inventory, guys. Look at the inventory compared to what we just saw a little while ago. I think it was Snohomish, the east side was 1.17. I think that's what it was. 3.5 months worth of inventory. A healthy market, 4 to 6 months of inventory. So you got to get out there and think outside the box, especially this time of year. There's some great deals. I told you I was going to tell you about my buyer. My buyer lives in Yakima. Rosa is awesome, okay? Open-minded, we found a great condo in Woodinville. Okay, had been on the market 35 days as a month ago. Nobody was looking at it. I could see in showing time when you set up schedules, go look at it, nobody was looking at that. I knew that the seller was a little bit desperate. She moved to Montana to help her dad out, and we knew she really needed to get rid of this house, at the condo. Beautiful, great little small condo, two bedrooms, 1 bath. And so it listed at $378. I told my buyer, well, let's go not discussing low, but let's give it a shot. Let's go a little bit low on this and let's see what happens, because it's like asking a girl to dance, so worst she could say is no. We offered $340. Seller accepted. How about that? $38,000 difference from the list price to now sold price. And I say sold because I'm happy to say that my buyer, Rosa, becomes an official home buyer closing tomorrow. Congratulations, Rosa. Hey, if you guys want me to review your area anywhere in the state, let me know and I'll put it on the next video. Have a great day, guys.